In one of the worst 24-hour periods we can recall for Disney's entire history, the company just lost $2.5 billion in investments Bob Iger signed before leaving the company. Fortnite, Sora, up in flames. Today we'll tell you why nothing's the same at the House of Mouse, and investors are shaking their fists at the Bob who got away. Hello, folks, and welcome to a brand new day of excellence right here on the Pro Channel, where we continue our endeavoring for explaining entertainment. Keeping you ahead of the culture curve is what we do, and we do it with a glee, a zeal, even the Holly Weirds can feel. As we dive in, click the like button, and off we go to a land of Disney, where Bob has left a very broke company for Josh tomorrow. $2.5 billion in investments. Maybe not in smoke, but they're not going over so well at a Disney, looking more broke by the day. That Park Place covering some of this. Marvin Montanaro. Disney OpenAI deal collapses after Sora video generation service shuts down. Oh my, Sam Altman, what have you done? The Disney OpenAI partnership has officially fallen apart, and it didn't take long. Just months after announcing a high-profile collaboration centered on AI video generation. And remind you, this was Disney's entire plan with their vertical integration into Disney+. They don't have enough content for the vertical generation, which is their whole plan for taking on TikTok on mobile devices and tablets with Disney+. The whole plan was for Sora to be generating content for them through independent content creators, their fans, and that's gone. It says what was once being positioned as a potentially transformative deal for entertainment and streaming has now fizzled out before it ever had a chance to deliver anything meaningful. And if you read between the lines, this isn't just about one app shutting down. It's about a rapidly shifting AI landscape. It's very embarrassing, I would say, to Sam Altman and to everybody over at OpenAI that Sora has been shut down. It indicates that they truly have lost, at least in video generation and image generation, to Gemini and to Grok. Here we are. But Disney bet big on the wrong crew. It's like betting on MySpace as Facebook is taking off. And so Disney bet $1 billion on this, but that's not all. And we'll go to Forbes, to talk about this. But at the same time that this was happening, they also bet $1.5 billion on Fortnite. And I love Fortnite, but Fortnite just fired 1,000 employees and said they're losing the engagement. That's the way they're putting it, engagement with the game. Disney is now, that's $1 billion plus $1.5 billion, $2.5 billion in a 24-hour period where you look at it and say, oh no. Did Bob leave Josh tomorrow a very broken future for this company? What say you?
I mean, it's wild that that's very possible. It's very possible that that's the scenario now. You mean similar to what he did with Bob Chapek and the upcoming rise of what the pandemic would be? I mean, it would be funny for it to happen once. It would be funnier for it to happen twice. If we look at what's going on with OpenAI, we compare this to what's happening with all the other AI companies, right? And OpenAI specifically is having a lot of issues. It's having an identity problem, number one, but they keep having a cash liquidity problem. The key is Sam Altman talking about, we need to put ads. We need more cash inflow into the business. Sora, the writing was on the wall. It's not the best. We have C-Dance. We have Kling. We have everything Google is doing right now. They are trying to compete for video. OpenAI is losing the fight on video generation. They're losing the fight on image generation. And then also we look at Anthropic on the other side with Claude for coding and text generation and all kinds of other things being done by Claude. They're falling apart there. Take that back to Disney. Disney's part in this is that they sided with Sora because Disney's desperate to get AI as some kind of they have to collect the cash that could be made on making their own AI generated video. And it just turned out Disney sided with the wrong company. They sided with the company that I think personally the writing was on the wall for. Sora wasn't the most impressive, I think, really ever, especially when compared to at the time Sora popped up, Google was already doing the best. Fortnite, on the other hand, I can't believe how that has fallen apart in these current days. I think it has something, my hypothesis, it has something to do with AI, but I don't think we have all the information on what happened with Fortnite just yet. I think we're still early out. There's more news to come on that. It's more than what they're telling us.
Well, there's one thing that's for sure, and that is that if we go back to the announcement for Fortnite, and I'll put this up on the screen, Variety back in February of 2024, Disney is investing $1.5 billion in Fortnite. Developer Epic Games with plans to collaborate on new games and entertainment based on Disney stories and experiences. Alan, you can see the concept art there. That castle in the middle, I guess, looks a little bit like Abu Dhabi Disneyland, but none of this has come to be. We are now in 2026, and we're no closer to any of this materializing. I don't know what the 1.5 billion bought. People say to me, well, it bought skins in Fortnite. And I say, well, every other company on the planet also is getting skins, and they didn't spend $1.5 billion. Alan, I'm starting to wonder, did Bob just buy stuff to give a jolt to the stock? And then as soon as he dropped out of there, Josh D'Amaro is holding a lot of investments that have no fruition on the other side.
Yeah, no, I think it's the fact that he couldn't make Fortnite woke enough. But yeah, I mean, it's baffling to me. You know, the 1.5 billion. What did that do? How did that improve things? Was it a bailout of some sort? Which goes to the problem that Disney has had overall. They don't understand their audience, and a lot of times, you know, weirdly enough, they overspend based on what their audience is. I don't know who runs any kind of business metrics or logistics over at Disney, but they don't understand who likes Disney, who buys into Disney products, who watches Disney movies, who watches Disney television. And they're in this position where they're just throwing money at everything, thinking that it'll just automatically return.
Yeah, it's a great point. And they're chasing the shiny, right? Without really having substance to it. Lauren, I could go on and on. I mean, in the same 24-hour period, we found out that there's something going on with The Bachelorette that's really ugly and nasty. We found out the FCC is holding late night and The View to the policies that are in place, where they have to either be fair to all sides in politics or not have politics on the show. It was a tremendously bad 24 hours for Disney. But as we look at this, folks have said, you guys are just too negative, you're just too mean. I think we're trying to get this turned around for them. They're down almost 50% in the past 5 years, and we'd like for that to stop. And I don't know if now they're going to do what it takes to get this to stop. We're at the point now where I don't know what Josh D'Amaro can do. He's been handed an awful set of cards to play with now. Lauren, you're muted. Hop in here.
I said I would say speak for yourself, Buster. I'm actually perfectly fine watching them continue to suffer for a little bit longer. I want them to do better to get it turned around when they themselves turn the company around, and they haven't done that. I think that they are beginning to recognize that they're in some serious trouble, but they have to take steps to correct that, and they need to make some mea culpas. I don't think they've done that yet. I do think that Josh is likely in a very bad situation right now, because he's going to be left holding the bag for a lot of bad Iger decisions. As you have rightly noted on the quarterly earnings call, he underperformed. He shook a little bit of consumer confidence. And Dana Walden's sitting right underneath him, I suspect slavering, just waiting for him to make one little slip. And she's going to try and glide in and save the day, as it were.
Yeah, well, I think that's what Hollywood would like. I think they're in favor of Dana. I don't think they liked Josh. And my gosh, we're 1 week out, and all this bad news is hitting. Culture, the only company that might be more embarrassed by all this is OpenAI. It turns out, according to Scott Gustin, that Disney was working with OpenAI the night before this announcement happened. So it sounds to me like red lights are flashing over at OpenAI. What say you?
No, I think they have. I think they are. I think they have been. This has always been a bad look. I've had this conversation multiple times just today, but I've had it multiple times in the last couple of years. The moment they decided to move this company from a nonprofit into a for-profit thing, that's what got fired. That's what got Sam Altman fired the first time, and then then they brought him back, and he kept marching forward with this idea of making a for-profit entity and creating, a lot of bad decisions, including making an enemy of the number one competitor, Elon Musk, who promptly developed his own AI and kicked the pants off of him. And now they're burning through, and I sent you a link to an article I'm going to be using for a while. They're burning through $14 billion this year alone over there at OpenAI. That's an awful lot of money to be in the negative. And they clearly could make it to bankruptcy by 2027 or in 2027. None of this is going to get easier. And I have to tell you that this is what it is.
I don't think this is an AI bubble. I think this is Sam Altman and OpenAI being poorly managed. And I think that they're losing to Gemini. They're losing to Anthropic. They're losing to Grok. Grok 5 is likely to launch next month or the month thereafter.
Yeah.
The Colossus supercomputer turning on. And I just see that they've been squeezed out. They didn't have their own data centers. And now Disney, by the way, Disney had leverage with somebody like Sam Altman. It mattered that Sora could get the Disney licensed characters. You have no leverage with Gemini, with Google. Google is 34 times the size of Disney. You have no leverage with Elon. You made an enemy of him. So now you're stuck. I mean, I don't know what Disney is going to do. And all the other studios, they have plans for this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Disney it's not that they've been set back by 3 months. They have nothing now. They're just sitting there saying, it's as if we never even began.
But what's different this time, if I may, what's different this time is we have new leadership in place. And Josh D'Amaro, if he feels desperate enough, if he feels the pinch, I think there is a very small reality where you could see a Grok team up. Grok needs to compete too. I would challenge what Culture said about Grok being like, it's very good. I have a lot of problems with it personally. I think a team up, you want to see Disney try to fix things? Disney and Grok teams up. That's a pipe dream. That'd be awesome.
Can you imagine if Disney partnered with Elon Musk right now? I can't. I mean, listen, I know what you're up to, Wiz. You want it for the content. You're desperate for the content? I mean, I'll make content. I'll make content for a month if Elon Musk partners with Disney.
Look, it is a dream team, but I don't see it happening. Again, if Hollywood's flipping out now, imagine if Disney partnered with Elon now. Hollywood would lose their ever-loving minds. And look, one final note, and this is important because this is why I believe so much in what's about to happen with Grok and Grokopedia and everything else. Grokopedia is a training ground. I tried to explain that this morning. But when Google comes out and announces that they can make, they basically are eliminating the memory problem because they're changing the way that you know the memory can be utilized. They even, I guess, they're giving that away for free. You watch the memory, the technology sector in the memory locations start to collapse today. They immediately erasing market share just off of one announcement that we're going to make this more efficient as far as memory goes, and it won't be such a memory hog. It's not going to impact the spaces.
It'll be interesting to see where deflation happens within all the sectors. But Alan, I'll give you the final word on this. Hollywood, to some degree, some of the folks out there are celebrating because they believe this means that AI is over at Disney. And I don't think that's the case at all. I just think Disney bet badly the first time, and they're going to have to go to bat with somebody else. I don't think they're going to stop. Josh D'Amaro, speaking to Wall Street, seems determined to utilize AI in every way possible.
Yeah, I mean, in terms of production, entertainment production, I think we were talking about it today. I think there's a sense on our side that that we're overestimating how much AI is going to improve the way you produce at least the graphics and the special effects in movies. Where AI is really going to be involved in everyday production is in scheduling and budgeting and things like that, the behind the scenes stuff. Because I just can't imagine that we're going to spend all this money and all this resources to make a full feature length AI movie. Because I just don't think people really want that. I think Project Hail Mary proved is that people want something real.
I think Project Hail Mary is actually the anecdote, right? Mm-hmm. Real physical assets and sets. That's the way to go. But
yeah,
Alan,
if you look at technology in movies, to me the best computer generated special effects in a movie is Jurassic Park. Ironically, it was the first. Yeah. And the reason it is so beautiful and because it looks so great is because you had a dedicated team that wanted to make this technology work, and they worked tirelessly to do it, and they did. And then they handed the tools over to people who just, who don't have that kind of idea of excellence when it comes to using these tools. And I think AI is the same way. I think the first AI feature-length movie will be great, will look amazing, and then they pass it on to others, and it'll start looking more like schlock that we get today. And then there's just this sense that the good that AI uses the Sora and all the video tools and the imaging tools. It's going to make great memes, but can it make a great feature?
Okay, so that's what I wanted to ask you about, because it seems to me like what Disney was planning, the strategy was, okay, we only have so much vertical content we can make. We want to be in vertical content because we want to compete for dopamine hits with TikTok and YouTube Shorts with our Disney Plus app. And so the solution to that was then, all right, what if we have people all over America, mostly probably tweens and teens, making Elsa dab, making Elsa say something, current and hip and hot. What if we have Anna saying 6'7" all the time? And we'll let kids make this stuff, and then it'll take off based on the memes that they're into right now. And we're going to offload this from our artists. And that was the plan, was to try to trend with AI. Alan, I don't think they're going to stop that effort. I think they just got to reset the effort. And I'm not supporting it. I'm just telling you, I think that's what they're up to.
Yeah, but the thing is let's say you got the tool. Let's say you went and purchased the monthly subscription to have access to all that. How long are kids going to be using it? Is it something that they're going to immerse themselves in and just create stuff over, or is it a toy that they're going to get tired of over time?
If the track record is any sign of it, Sora went belly up in about what? 4 months, 5 months? Wiz?
Yeah. I mean,
I think there's.
Go ahead,
Alan.
Oh no, I'll just say that I started playing with these tools months ago, and I'm not playing with these tools right now.
Wiz?
I think everything's on the table. We are living in kind of crazy times where anything is possible, and OpenAI needs to figure out where they're going to stand and where they're going to divert their attention. Anthropic is kicking their butt with code. Everybody else is kicking their butt with video. Seems like they're going to be going back to code to compete there. As far as like visual elements, I think there's a reality where we see mocap and CGI, because CG is not going away, but I could see mocap being improved in a way with AI in the future. We're still years out from these tools being, I don't even want to say perfected, but that's they will find a place to use this, because these corporations believe, Disney believes, or believed, I'm sure they're feeling the pinch of it now, but a lot of these corporations believe across the board that AI is going to be able to be used to reduce costs, and they're going to learn that that's just not possible. That's actually not the truth.
Culture final word.
I need to just ask a question of
Final
Alan.
question.
Okay, all right. So no, I'm serious, because don't you think that the most area that this can immediately cover up is going to be post-production?
Oh,
yeah.
Well,
I mean, I
Alan
think
would
that's
speak to that better
the
than me.
most logical tool for AI is in post-production and special effects.
Yeah.
right.
I don't know. I mean, again, we'll point to Project Hail Mary. When human hands touch it, it always tends to feel more authentic.
I think in the age of AI, practical effects, real sets, and live performances, that's where it's at. And I hope so. And I love Project Hail Mary, so bring me more of that. Put this baby to bed. This video is over. Turn off the lights, but not quite yet, folks, because we do ask one final thing before we say goodbye, and that is, would you consider clicking the like button, share, subscribe, click it and stick it to those algorithms. It is the notification bell, and drop a comment down below. Also greatly appreciated, anytime you would like to share this out on your favorite social media platforms, well, we would love that. And we'd also love to hear your thoughts. Folks, drop a comment down below and use that beautiful mind of yours. If you would not mind, we'd love to know what you're thinking. Also, if you would like to become a member of the channel, it's as simple as clicking the join button. It is the price of a soda per month, and you'll gain access to all kinds of new, cool, exclusive information. Folks, until the next time we have the honor of spending time with you, keep learning, keep growing, and as always, keep having fun.